Hey everyone, this is Libby Flanagan. Welcome back to my channel. Today is a big day. We're going to finally be bringing chickens to our home and put them in the coop that I made 2 videos ago. If you haven't seen it, check that out. I'll try and link it right above up here. But I wanted to show you everything that I'm putting in the coop before they get here. I want to make sure it's all set up and just ready so that when they get here, I can just put them in and see how they're adjusting. I won't have to worry about putting in food or water or anything like that. So I'm gonna show you everything that I got to put in the coop, and I will of course link everything down in the description box below so that you can easily find it on Amazon. If you like this video, please consider giving a thumbs up. That really does help to support my channel. So let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna start off talking about the bags of food that I have here in the back. I am trying to go all organic with my feed. I try to eat organic where I can, and I plan to market my eggs as organic eggs, so I want to make sure I'm starting from the beginning with all organic food. First, you can see here I got a chick starter and grower food. This food is good up to 12 weeks, and the chickens that I'm getting are 8 weeks old, so this will be good for them to start out. You want to start out with a starter chick food up to 8 weeks, and then they can move into a grower. So I kind of got this mix because they will be exactly 8 weeks old, and that will be good for them. And then next here, I have 2 important things to include in their diet that I put in this feeder right here. The first is the grit that's in this bag. And it's important that the grit that you get is insoluble because it sits in their little beak, and this is how they will break stuff up. So this is just crushed granite, and it's insoluble. It comes in these little like rock pieces. And so that basically sits in this part of the chicken, like this red thing, and that's how they break stuff down, is these like little rocks in there help break stuff down because they don't have any teeth. And then the next thing I got is crushed oyster shell right here. Crushed oyster shell is really high in calcium, and it is a great calcium supplement that you can give your chickens. You can give this to them as young as 8 weeks. They'll just eat it when they want to. So I'm just putting a lot in there. This should last them a long time. They don't eat that much of these things, but it's important to have it there in case they want it, they can eat it. And then last over here, I have my organic scratch grains. Scratch grains, you only want this to make up 10% of their diet. My plan is just to grab a little handful and throw it out into the chicken run in the mornings. It helps encourage natural feeding and pecking in the yard. So since we want them to be foraging, it'll just help get that behavior going. So that's all the different feeds that I have for the chickens to start. So yeah, this is where their grit and their crushed shell is. That will just be thrown in the yard. And then I have this big bag of food is in their feeder. And then I did include this in the coop video, but I will link it down here again. And you can really fill this up really big. It's just got their food mix in it. And you'll notice the part here where they put their head in, hopefully you guys can see it. They can just reach in here and the food is down below. So that's really convenient because you don't have to fill this up very frequently, and they can still get the food inside. And the lid fits on super tight. It's really hard to get on and off. So yeah, so that's where their food goes. And then last I have their water right here. It got a little dirty because I had been letting it sit outside, but I'm going to obviously fill this up with water, and I'm going to put just a little bit of this nutrient mix in their water. You don't have to put barely any of this in there. I'm just going to do that for 2 days to make sure that they have all the nutrients that they need when they arrive here. I know that we're going to be in the car for a couple hours, so that can be pretty stressful, and just make sure they have the nutrients they need. And if it ever becomes a problem again, this bottle is pretty big, so I'll be able to use this for a long time. And last, I'm keeping them in the coop for 2 to 3 days so that they know that that's their home, and I don't have to put them up there at night. They'll just put themselves away. So I got this Coop and Compost odor neutralizer to put in there just for those couple days to try and keep it smelling a little better. And it's all natural. It's just zeolite. It's the only ingredient. And they can eat this, and it won't harm them or anything. But yeah, so I'm gonna put this in there for those first couple days so that they won't, it won't be terribly smelly in there while they're in there for 2 days, and then they'll be let out, so I won't really need that anymore. But yeah, so that's everything that we got to start. I'm gonna go put it in the coop now. All right, so I just sprinkled a little bit of that odor neutralizer in there, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of fresh pine shavings and just kind of mix that up, get a nice good layer to start. I am gonna compost everything, so and making sure that everything I'm putting in is compostable and organic, because I put my compost into my garden. So just mixing that up, trying to get it around everywhere. We got the feeder. I'm gonna block off the laying box since they won't be laying for a little while. They won't actually be able to get in there because I don't want them to get that messy. Then they got their grit and their shells, and here is their water. I think I'm gonna actually prop this up just a little bit so it's a little bit higher. But other than that, good to go. All right, so I just put this up on some 4x4s so it'd be a little elevated and they can get to it a little quicker. And I just kind of block that off like that. I don't have a piece to really block it well, but I think I'll basically keep them out. We'll see. All right, let's go pick up some chickens. So I just went and picked up our 3 chickens from this fellow up in Hendersonville, North Carolina. He's just like a personal breeder. He does this as like his hobby. And so I know they're really well taken care of. And I'm about to let them out now, and I'll show you what we got. So since I have this kind of feeder right here where they have to like hit this nipple to get water out, I'm gonna take each one out individually and peck their beak up against that so they can see how to do it, and then I'll just let them out. So here we go. Want them to jump. All right, this is our first one. This is Roxanne. She is a Plymouth Rock. Hopefully she'll do it. All right, that's it. And she's off. Oh. Oh. All right. This is Wilma. She's a silver Laced Wyandotte. Wilma. Hey, Wilma. All right. And here's our last one. Luanne. Luanne is a Leghorn. There we go.
Let me close it up.
All right, now I can close it up. They're very confused. Here's your food. They just gotta warm up to it a little bit, I think. Luanne's got a purple tail because she was getting pecked at, so it's just a little like antibiotic spray while her feathers come back in, but her tail will be white. All right, come over here. So hopefully they'll come over to their food. Luanne's trying to get out. No, ma'am. All right, now they're in there. Those are our 3 girls. Okay, so you met Luanne the Leghorn. She's the white one. She will make white eggs. You met Wilma the silver Laced Wyandotte. She'll have like a light brown egg, as well as our barred rock or a Plymouth Rock. They're kind of called either thing. That's the striped black and white one. That's Roxanne, and she'll have brown eggs as well. So that's our 3 girls for right now. We may add a few others later on, but don't worry, we'll make another video. so that's it for today's video. I'm really excited. These girls are 8 weeks old, so they'll be laying when they're about 6 months. So we'll get to watch them grow up. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the little bell to get notifications whenever I put up new videos so that you can watch these girls grow up with us. Thanks for hanging out.
Just did a good thing. I don't regret this thing at all. And you're wondering what it is. I'll tell you what I did a good thing.